politics with the governance, and he used to meet all walks of people to redress their grievances, and hardly mixed up any point of time politics. He was rarely seen campaigning for the Congress also. So thus he separated politics from the
Yeah.
government.
Also,
That was secret of his success.
yes,
That's why
also,
GDP was high, employment was there. Of course, people got the employment, and inflation was also under check.
yeah. Talking about, the three reforms, particularly when it came to liberalization, privatization and globalization. Now, this was achieved by Dr. Manmohan Singh, particularly at the time when he was the finance minister. The trajectory of India growing at the 8% GDP rate that you just now mentioned, where the full support was given to him by the then Prime Minister PV Narasimha Rao. You think there has been enough credit given to Dr. Manmohan Singh in wake of the contributions that he made for the economy of the country to grow at such a large scale?
Happened, his last 2 years were very bad, and he was his government was blamed, and was attacked for two major corruption, that coal scandal and G2 spectrum, and such a gentleman he had that he did not contradict much, and people believe that as a result that party had to lose the election, and eventually those corruptions were not justified. So those who blame him for the corruption, they should apology, and though the government changed, then another government which slapped that corruption charges could not prove that. So those were not good days for him.
Yeah. Also, when we talk about Dr. Manmohan Singh and his leadership as the Prime Minister of the country, terms like the accidental Prime Minister, the timid Prime Minister, the reluctant Prime Minister come to mind, as has been propagated in political circles and in the media and in the public sphere as well. Even if we take a look at the time when he was cherry-picked by PV Narasimha Rao to be the finance minister, an intimation of about 12 hours was given to him when PV Narasimha Rao decided to pick him as the finance minister. Do you think Dr. Manmohan Singh was more of an economist than a leader and a political leader?
He was both a political leader as well as economist also. There is globe politics is economic driven politics, Indian politics is also economic driven politics. And if it is not, then of course country is going to be face bad situation. This is what we are facing now. So what I said that he had big heart for common people, poor people, like right to information, right to education, and Manrega, the major contribution he had made to the country. So he was equally concerned for common people. These are the landmark achievements of his tenure.
Yeah, do you think in his 10 years of governance when he was the Prime Minister, there was criticism and opposition that he faced both from the political parties that were opposing, that were sitting in the opposition, as well as inside the party leadership? But he went full stead, particularly as you spoke about how the 2008 economic crisis, where he was able to save India largely with no massive impact that could negatively affect the country's growth rate. Talking about the nuclear deal, which also saw opposition from within the political quarters, when Dr. Manmohan Singh in his second term went ahead and nonetheless signed that deal with the United States of America.
See, Dr. Manmohan Singh said once that history will absolve him. So now the history will absolve him. The days to come, years to come, people will remember his work. But for real deal also he was criticized. More than that, his government was labeled corruption, and he was a gentleman, and his gentleness was exploited and was seen as a weakness, and he did not speak much about what the corruptions were labeled against him. And those who did it, they did a mischievous job, and the false and frivolous label charges they label against him. They must regret. They must tender the apology. Those days were not good days. I also had talk about that also. So that the last 2 years were worse for him. That so what happened? The politics is like this. The people of that time were such that they exploited his good nature and gentleness and innocent person, simple person. He was a straightforward person, and that was exploited. That was portrayed in wrong way. That he is a mum, he can't speak and all. Whenever there was need to speak, he used to speak, and he did not speak unnecessarily and tried to make. He never became a rhetoric.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Udit Raj, for joining me on the telecast and sharing your views.